Hi, class. I know you can't see me because my webcam is having some issues, but this is our assignment for today called Earth Systems Venn Diagram. The title here says Earth Systems Venn Diagram, and it describes a Venn diagram as a tool used to help compare similarities and differences between things that interact. Below is an example of some of the main functions of Earth systems. Here we have somewhat of a Venn diagram, but it's really an example of just how the biosphere and each of these systems, the atmosphere, where it says soil health, really the geosphere, and where it says the water cycle, really the hydrosphere, are all interacting on a large scale. So whenever we see events that affect these things or apply to these things, for example, trees and other plants slow the flow of rainwater. If we cut a bunch of trees down, obviously we're changing the biosphere and it's affecting our hydrosphere, right? Um, if we have a bunch of soil that is runoff due to rain, we have the um, the geosphere affecting the hydrosphere. So there's ways that each of these systems can affect one another, and the biosphere is all a part of that, and the life on Earth changes as a part of some of these interactions. So here's the assignment for today. Using the list below, place these naturally occurring events where they belong on the Venn diagram. If something involved two or more of Earth systems, then place them in the overlap on the drawing. Below is a list of natural and human-made events to choose from. Car pollution. Number 2, rain runoff. Number 3, rising seas. Number 4, lack of rain. Number 5, photosynthesis. Number 6, cell respiration. Number 7, paving parking lots. Number 8, falling leaves. Number 9, evaporation. Number 10, precipitation. Number 11, dissolved oxygen. Number 12, the city dump. Number 13, forest fires. Number 14, volcanoes. And number 15, flooding. Your job is to take each of these and place them in this Venn diagram. In order to do that, you need to click on the drawing, which I'm doing here, and you'll have to double click so it opens it up like this, much like we did in some of our gizmos before. When you do that, there are text boxes in the drawing like this, and you can type in the numbers for each of those words that belong in, say, the atmosphere. Okay, not saying 12, 2, and 3 are answers, but there are text boxes already put in to each of these where you can type those numbers in. And so the overlap numbers right here. Okay. Once you have placed all those words in here, you can save and close your drawing, and it will update it in here and put those numbers here. After you're done doing the best you can to place these events where they belong in each of Earth's systems, you're going to answer the deeper thinking question. How can these types of events change the overall climate of a biosphere over time? Make sure to include some examples of how events from the word bank might affect the climate. So really, you're answering the question of how these might affect the living things in our environment if we were to have them happen a lot. How can it change the climate? For example, there's less trees, what's going to happen? If there's lots of runoff and flooding, how does that change an environment? What kind of life is altered or affected by some of these changes? If you have a hard time knowing what some of our words are, you can always use Google or the glossary from Discovery Ed to try to know what some of these words mean. Some of those might be cellular respiration, which is actually the process that animal cells breathe in oxygen and out CO2. So it's like the opposite of photosynthesis, where living things are putting air into the atmosphere. And then dissolved oxygen would be air from the atmosphere entering water. When we say dissolved, it means it's in water. So you'd have the atmosphere the air in the atmosphere entering the hydrosphere, and it's actually what fish breathe. So those are two examples of words I think you might struggle with. But if you need to research any of these, you can, to make sure you put them in the right place. Good luck today. I hope this works. If you have questions, you can comment or email. And if we need to allow for more time, we will. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you later.